Western Cape has more than 30,000 children in the foster care system. As South Africa observes Child Protection Week from May the 29th to June the 5th, all of us should spend at least some time reflecting on our present and our future. It is no secret that, especially in times like these, the South African child does not have it easy. It is perhaps more important than ever that we take a moment to reflect on the obstacles our children face. As of March, the Western Cape has more than 30,000 children in the foster care system. To some extent, this is good news. It means the Western Cape government is ensuring that children are placed and that the necessary support is provided to them. But it is concerning that such demands exist in the first place. It means that many children, too many, are being left without the support structure they so desperately need. And while the provincial government works to compensate for this with the foster care and its innovative parenting programs, all of society must come together to form a more caring, more cohesive social fabric. Child protection goes beyond ensuring our young are safeguarded against immediate threats. It is also a reason to examine the path that we are on. Also, since 2020, the Horn of Africa has been experiencing the worst drought in 40 years. With recently, the UN made an attempt to improve the situation and raise funds to help the affected region, but apparently this venture failed. The collective West, which is so fond of claiming immense support for Africa, has pledged $2.4 billion, that's almost 47 billion rand, and about 7 billion that was actually needs to be raised, ended up providing only $0.8 billion. Oxfam, a British-founded confederation of 21 independent charitable organizations, has stated that one person is likely to die of hunger every 28 seconds between now and July across Ethiopia, Kenya, Somalia, and South Sudan alone, the highest on record. Now, to wait for a fully declared famine before donors act decisively is complicit and immoral. It should be noted that this is not the first time international organizations that pay special attention to the opinions of the West do not fulfill their obligations. In other stories, homelessness is a profound assault on dignity, social inclusion, and the right to life. Now, homelessness has been declared a human rights violation by such authoritative bodies as the UN, the South African Human Rights Commission, and many court judgments. Now, South Africa's progressive constitution clearly enshrines the right of the nation's citizens to adequate housing and basic healthcare services. For too long, the state has acted in ways that seem to indicate those experiencing homelessness are not worthy citizens. And for too long, despite the reality being that the state is not ensuring these rights of all its citizens, the state is also not being held accountable for these failings. This has resulted in growing numbers of those referred to as chronically homeless, as well as the same group of citizens not being able to attain the highest standard of health, which causes premature and preventable deaths and indicates a failure of the state to adequately protect the right to life. Further to this, the right to life encompasses the belief that every citizen has the right to enjoy his or her life in dignity. Homelessness is stigmatized and often addressed with criminalization, violence, and aggressive policies that violate rather than safeguard the rights of the person involved. Parents and communities then have a duty to ensure that our children are exposed to the truths and the realities and the ugliness of the horrible experience that is homelessness and of which individuals have had to endure because of this for far too long. The public has been led to believe that we can change it. We can change it. Chronic homelessness is solvable, but it means we have to change. Children are our future. What we do today impacts on our future. In other news, with the national elections taking place next year, South Africans need to engage and have effective and productive discussions to save and to move South Africa forward. Now, well functioning democratic constructs, robust and sound political governance are essential to social and economic development. On the other hand, a lack of voter knowledge, political parties' performances, voting preferences, and general understanding about elections can weaken the rule of law, service delivery, transparency, accountability, and decision making of the elected party and their politicians. Now, civil society groups such as religious and educational institutions, community and professional associations, stockfels, ratepayers associations, free, objective, unbiased, and factual media and non-governmental organizations, which are NGOs, are important building blocks for economic growth, reconciliation, healing, social cohesion, and monitoring and evaluating of government departments. Now, through active participation in civic organizations, citizens become knowledgeable about government policies and actions and can effectively hold government departments such as municipalities accountable. Hence, citizens need to establish forums and public meetings with the different political parties in order to learn and study their policies, vision, previous performance, their undertakings, and to access general political knowledge. Now, these political meetings will help deepen our young democracy, increase democratic participation, and create active citizens. Strong and inclusive civic organizations can make all the difference in helping civil servants, municipalities, provincial and national government to manage South Africa's numerous challenges. In other news, just over a month into the 2023-24 financial year, Eskom has spent 3 billion rand to burn diesel to keep the lights on during load shedding as at the first week of May. Now, it's almost triple the amount spent in the first 3 months of 2022 when 1.3 billion rand was incurred to buy diesel. DAMP Farad Isak wrote to Minister in the Presidency for Electricity asking about the total amount that Eskom set aside in its budget for the current financial year to buy diesel for the open cycle gas turbines and the amount that has been spent to date. Now, the minister said that Eskom has spent over 3 billion rand of the budgeted 19.6 billion rand. The budget available for Eskom's open cycle gas turbines for 23-24 financial year is 19.6 billion rand, including the independent power producers spend as well. Now, the year-to-date spend for the 23-24 financial year as of May 23 is 3 billion rand, he said. He recently told the National Council of Provinces that 30 billion rand will be spent on burning diesel to keep the lights on during load shedding, with 8 billion rand dedicated to purchasing diesel and 22 billion rand will be directed to buy diesel from the 254 billion rand relief fund for Eskom. In a separate question, DAMP Khalip Kachalia asked Public Enterprises Minister Pravin Gordhan about the number of litres of diesel that Eskom used for the purposes of power generation in the last 2 financial years and the total cost of the diesel used in each of these years. And that's all we have for the community news. And that's your community news, stories affecting our beautiful country, and we will try and bring you that every day as well. Remember, if you'd like to communicate with us, you're more than welcome to email me at luqmaan@hilaal.tv and let me know about some of the issues concerning you and your community. After the break, we cross to Johannesburg studio where Faraz Patel will be taking over until about 7 o'clock, and then I come back at 7 where I interview Alex van der Heever, part of Eco Training Guides and Guardians. Now, Eco Training is a very, very interesting company where they offer various courses in wildlife. Now, if you always wanted to study things like safari guide or would like to get more involved in wildlife photography, stay tuned at 7 o'clock. Alex will give you more information on how you can join and how you can be part of this amazing, amazing career as well. It can only get better for you, not only here in South Africa, you could take it around the world with you as well. They offer courses like wilderness trails. They teach you how to become a guide in various trails as well. So Alex and his team have put together this amazing accredited course, and he's going to tell us a bit more about that at 7 o'clock. You're welcome to tune in during that time, be part of the show, and communicate with us about some of your thoughts as well. For now, we're going to take a break, and after that, Faraz Patel, my colleague, takes over in Johannesburg.